This show is a Phonic Media production.
Today on the podcast, it's going to be actually practical and tactical. You might actually learn something. We're going to talk about the importance of your personal brand. I've had just the right amount of caffeine. I feel hyped.
Hey, friend.
Oh, sorry. Do you see Hayley in a panic? They're blocking my camera.
Oh my God, you're loud.
Blocking my camera.
Seriously.
Oh,
it's like
sorry, yours
right
is...
into my...
Is that okay?
Now, I don't know. Feels quiet now. Anywho,
You don't like it? You don't like it when it's going right in
I
your
thought you
holes?
were blocking my camera. I was like...
Don't do
No,
that.
it's only because you told me that I couldn't block yours. Anyway.
Tit for tat.
Moving on. So today we're going to talk about why you need a personal brand.
What is that saying all about? Tit for tat? At one point, was there like an exchange of like, oh, I don't want to buy that tat, but you get some tat for your
But
tits?
you say your old tit.
What?
I don't know, actually.
You done it, you said
I've
your
got
old
to Google
tat.
it. Hang on.
Tit
Your
for
old
tat.
Tit for tat meaning. Hang on, guys. Tit.
How far it'd be
for
worth it?
Tat meaning.
I know I've just mentioned in the intro that you might learn something, but you're thinking, well,
Tit for
definitely
tat
not.
is giving back as much as you got, especially in retaliation for something harmful.
Okay.
If you conk your sister in the head and she conks you right back, that's tit for tat. So it's it actually means retaliation.
Okay.
Oh,
What was the context you used it?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
I'm confused now.
We have, being honest, we've just come back from our
my God.
youngest's nursery
Graduation ceremony.
On what is
for a
the
3-year-old.
hottest day of the year, which we're not complaining about because,
It's
a couple
30
of weeks ago I was eating fucking soup.
30 degrees.
Like, I'm okay with the heat. I'm not going to do that thing. Where it's just, I like it hot, but not that hot, even though that's what I'm
Such
thinking.
a British
dying
thing.
inside. So it's just been a full on, like, honestly, if you've got kids in school, just write off July. Just right off July, honestly, between
The whole of it.
sports days and it's different because George is starting school,
Yeah.
so we've had inductions and all sorts of things.
I love the work from home parents who are still doing Zoom calls and shit on their mobile phones where they're
See it
at
everywhere.
events. It's so funny.
And it does.
They're just
make
like
me
on,
laugh.
they're just
They
on
have
calls.
to.
They've just got like they're on calls, but they're just like fully
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Turn your camera off. Oh, I've got a glitch in my camera.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, how many
Okay.
people do that? But you kind of got to. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you actually do? Because school finishes at 3:30, in average, between 3 and 3:30.
Yeah.
So, like, most jobs still typically would finish, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, yeah.
What do you do? So yeah, we've been
Blag
doing
it.
that.
That's what we do, you blag
this
it.
week we also had Louis' second rock concert where he was playing Thunder by Imagine Dragons. But he thought he was hilarious because as he got to the keyboard, his band, the Chesburgers, he played the
Don't try and
melody
Google him,
from
you
the
won't
last performance, which was Seven Nation Army, and the band leader
as they were
sort of
warming
looked
up.
at him when we're not playing that one, and everyone laughed, and Louis thought he was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious as well because everyone's like getting up and just sort of like
Hilarious.
the drummers go.
And then Louis got the
And they go
hiss
ding ding ding
and
ding
that,
ding. Oh,
doesn't
give
he?
it like
So-
Legend out of Gladiators. He was going.
Do you know what though?
Shout out to Legend from
there's
Gladiators.
5 bands,
Inspired
and I
the
think
kids.
fair play. I mean, none of them necessarily sounded like the song. No, they did really. They did really well.
There was
They did
one
really
kid
well.
who's in year 5 or 6.
I'm not sure.
What age did they leave that school? 6? Year 6.
Year 6,
So
yeah.
what are they? 12, 13?
Yeah, 12.
What?
12.
They're
yeah.
12. Oh, they're 12.
Yeah.
This kid could like properly play, and he was giving like, well, you like do the wiggly hand thing.
And
Like,
there's a kid that was singing and he was just like really confident and I
Yeah.
was like, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good. And it's weird because like Louis is super shy. So this is Louis, right? We told you about his obsession with the Eurovision and his obsession with Marcus and Martinus, who are a Norwegian band that did a song for Sweden.
Work that one
So
out.
we have it on all the time, but he's got a whole performance, and it starts on the sofa like he's lying back, and then he sort of like starts out, and then he's like jumping around. He's got this sort of like movement, and he asked me to film it, so I filmed it. And then I showed him it, and he had an absolute... I don't know if I've spoken about
think you
this on
have
the podcast.
mentioned it before.
Anyway, he
He
had
had a
an
meltdown.
absolute meltdown. He hated his performance. He hated it. It was so, like, no. But then he'd go and do a rock concert in front of, like, half
300
the
people.
school.
Yeah.
And he was, like, really excited. It's so strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's been full on few weeks. And then last week...
This is the longest time I've sat in my house, by the way,
Yeah,
in about
James,
a week. Oh my
I
good
mean,
God.
you've just been travelling.
Do you know how far I've travelled this week?
A long way.
I've done 800 miles
It's
this
crazy.
week. I'm going to take my car back into the garage because the fucking unbusiness shout, the local garage, and mess my car
I
up.
won't say them,
but they're going to probably look at the mileage that's clocked up and gone, you've done another 1,500 miles since we had this car 2 weeks ago.
You've definitely got to pay.
Yeah.
Loving that plant behind you as well, that brown dead leaf. Sort of really brings it to life, doesn't it?
We like to be authentic and real, guys.
I noticed there's a plant by our TV that I looked at and I'm like, have all the leaves just fallen off? It's just like a pole of a bit of wood. Anyway, and that one's
wow.
Right.
Again,
anyway,
I'm so glad we mentioned.
No, but seriously, this is a serious note. When you're both like, you're both out at work, and then like a couple of weeks ago, boring reframe, but here we go. We spent the weekend just doing things
if
like
anyone's still listening to this
tidying
podcast,
the house,
fucking amazed.
getting the food ordered, so we knew exactly what we were doing that week. We went in Monday feeling like legends,
boss
right?
bitches.
And then this week, it's almost like honestly, if you looked at our fridge right now, there is so lame.
Should I take one of the cameras and push?
No, don't. It is like a pathetic.
It's like students. It's like students who live on tuna pasta.
But then I almost make it a mission. Yeah, like our dinner tonight is the leftover pasta bake from my mum's, and I'm like, brilliant. It means I haven't got to think about cooking.
Delicious
tonight.
though. Delicious.
So I forgot where I was going with that, but I'm sat here looking around, going, oh my god, how is it now? All the plants look like they need good water. There's toys everywhere. It's like it's another full-time job to keep on top of keeping the house tidy. But if you do, like we say, it makes you feel so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you go to the fridge, like when you did that, when we were so organised, every mealtime I knew what we were eating, cognitively.
Just takes it's almost like one half day just frees you up for a fortnight, doesn't it?
Well, it does.
But I can't do it this weekend. We've got fucking 19 parties. Potentially got to drop stuff back at the office.
We've got baseball. We've got parties. We've got friends over. We've got a full-on weekend.
All lovely things, though.
All lovely things. Super grateful. Me and James are really living in.
We are living
manifesting.
in
I've got James now hooked on Jen Sincero, who is amazing.
I don't like her. I love her. She is so brilliant.
She is great. So we're trying to manifest. We're trying to pull it.
We should manifest her coming on the podcast.
Oh my God.
Jen Sincero, if you're listening to this podcast, please come on our podcast because we are both mega fans. And
we want you to manifest the shit out of us.
And she used to be in a band called Crotch. We will find some old Crotch tunes.
Oh my God, we will
sing it.
And
we'll play it. We will sing it.
We will sing it.
What a treat for her.
So I'd love that. Yeah, not a treat for her, but I'd love to have Jen Sincero on the show. Let's put that out there.
To the universe. Let's manifest it. Take a moment, guys.
Okay, so.
Okay, done.
James has been running around like a blue-ass fly. Why do we say that? Because they zoom around.
I guess so, yeah.
Fly. Do you know what? We should have just an episode on where we just go, why do we say that? What's that meaning? Be really engaging. Anywho, so last week I was actually away for 3 nights because I obviously went to Northampton, which is a long way away. No, but in my defence,
I thought she was going to go for a fortnight
at an event called the Female Founders Summit. I spoke there last year. This year it was a 2-day event in Northampton over 5 venues. Pretty cool. And so I was talking on the Friday, so I didn't want to have to travel up Friday, so I booked Thursday, and then the event ended Saturday night late, and you were like, oh, you might as well just stay. I
was. I got on board for it.
It was great. So not only did I have obviously some great clients I wanted to catch up with, I know a lot of people there from previous events, and I had loads of friends there, and it was just such a great 2 days. Oh my God, though, it was so full on. I think there was something like 4 masterclasses every day. There was a sort of fireside Q&A.
Packed with value, guys.
On the Friday night, the first night, they had Northants Sings Out, which were a choir that came second, I think, on Britain's Got Talent. They were incredible.
Oh, we should have played it.
They do upbeat sort of, it's just brilliant. Oh, I know. Should have thought of that.
Didn't. You keep talking, I'll find it on my phone.
They do a Praise You version. It's amazing. I've got some on my phone from the actual live recording.
Yeah, I've got it.
They're amazing. And then the keynote for the main event was Mary Portas.
Hayley. Oh, it wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me. Mary Portas. And I have to say, she was one of the most inspirational people I've ever seen speak.
Fan Praise You, by the way. Sorry, just a quick little blast. I'm a sucker for a harmony. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm in the West End.
Keep it going.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, here you go. Oh, hello.
Oh, my goodness. Where's your
YouTube's going to kick us off now for playing unlicensed music, but...
Will
never
they?
mind. Nah, fuck them.
Well, I don't want to get kicked off of that.
Microsoft
platform.
isn't working today.
We've already been kicked off of TikTok because
I don't give
we
a shit.
say
We've got
naughty
shadow
things.
banned.
We've got shadow banned.
Shadow ban me.
Don't put that on there then if we're going to get...
No, they'll just say you can't monetize the video. Don't worry, we're not monetizing shit.
It's all right. We're doing nothing, aren't we? We even think, why do we bother?
No, we don't.
No,
Come on, keep telling everyone your inspiring story. I promised them
Mary
something
Poultice,
good.
Mary Poultice, she was just incredible. I love
Is it Poultice or
everything about
Poultice?
Poultice, I think. Just amazing. Anyway, so I was lucky enough to give a talk on making an impact through
Were
your
you
personal
lucky
brand.
enough, or were they lucky enough to hear it?
Both. I mean, to be
Manifesting.
fair, the feedback I got, I was super grateful. Like, everyone really enjoyed it. I think I just love being in the room. You know, when you're just...
You just love the sound of your own voice.
But you know when you know that it's resonating with people and they're getting
it's
stuff
just
out.
landing.
It's landing.
You know it's
those
landing?
nuggets? You know those little nuggets just making people moist? That's horrible.
Oh.
I did that on purpose because they're two words I hate.
Nugget and moist.
But it was really good. And I was like, do you know what? More than anything, I realised how many people aren't realising that they need to elevate their personal brand.
Oh my God, guys. If you don't realise that you need to elevate your brand, you should speak to Hayley at Orange Lamb. There's a variety of packages. You can have a full-scale jazzle up, and that's £5,500. Or you can just have a little glow up. Or if you just need some consistent branding, there's the...
Jazzle up?
There's the Flicker Up weekly package, and that's
my
just
God.
£19,255.
Just random.
Just get in touch with me.
And Vazzler. It sounds like Vajazzle. Remember when Vajazzle was a thing?
What was that?
Vajazzle? Is it like you get like...
Jewellery on your pubes. Jewellery around
it
your
like
muff.
gemstones?
Yeah, gemstones on your muff.
How is that a word that gets used? Muff. Isn't that weird though?
What's better? What else could I
Vajazzle.
say for it?
Yeah, don't. Anyway.
Yeah, vajayjay.
So, here's the thing.
Fucking get to a point, please.
This is the point. If you
10
are
minutes
sat there
in, 12
and you
minutes
run
in.
a business, any business, and you are thinking,
Get ready, guys.
turn the fucking music off.
Sorry. That cable's loud today as well. I'm sorry. This is a nightmare.
If you're sat there thinking, I'm a business, I'm not a personal brand, listen up, guys.
Joking.
Remember the other day when you asked me to slap you around the face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't get mentions about that on YouTube.
It was a fake one.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Carry on. Get to the
I
point.
don't know, you keep stopping me. I don't know what I'm talking about now.
Go back to your
No,
presentation. She's got
you
her
do it. I'm not
presentation.
saying it.
Okay, fine. So you might be thinking, I haven't got a personal brand. I own a business. But the truth, how we operate in the digital age has changed. Whether you're a small business owner building a strong, or a corporate employee building a strong personal brand, opens new doors to boost your success.
You can't even read the slides.
Next slide. Think of these celebrities. Do you buy into them or their business?
That's what I sound like.
I'm going to get the slides up as well.
I hate
Stacey
you.
Sullivan, Sarah Davis, Fern Cotton. If you said business, it's likely because you bought to them. You fucking idiot. See, that's what you did. You
Why
took
do
them down an
sound more
emotional
like Keith
journey.
Lemon?
I don't see it for a week. I
Anyway.
see it for a window.
My point being, in this room, when I said who thinks they've got a personal brand, so many people didn't raise their hands. But by the end of it, they realised, oh my God, I could be leveraging my personal brand so
And
much
should
more.
be.
Because companies now are actually investing in their employees, asking them to elevate their personal brand because it will in turn help the business. Okay, so I
For
thought,
show.
do you know?
For show.
You're so annoying. You're so annoying.
Welcome
This
to
is what
today's
you do.
webinar.
You make no effort and then you rock
Stop
up
kicking the
and then
camera.
just slag me off. Anyway, my point being is that some people think about like celebrities like, oh yeah, you know, you buy into their business. But I guarantee more often than not, you've bought into them as a person. And then the products that they then start selling. So like Fern Cotton, for example, someone bought me some like, you know, like nice cards once, got like quotes on.
Manifesting cars.
And it
whatever
was
they are.
like
Yeah.
her brand. Now, that's what I'm saying. It's like suddenly you're buying stuff because it relates to Fern Cotton and you know that she stands for like well-being practices,
No,
etc.
you're buying Happy Place.
Happy Place.
But you
which
relate
is
to Happy
her-
Place because of Fern
Yeah,
Cotton.
that's the point.
So interesting what
It
she's
is.
done with Happy Place.
Yeah.
I remember listening to a podcast, must have been like 4 years ago, and she was being interviewed by, I think it was Russell Brand. Probably not an episode that she now shouts that much about, to be fair. But she was talking about, they would talk about how they loved podcasting.
Yeah.
Both of them loved podcasting. Like, what a fantastic medium. It's like better than the radio, blah, blah, blah. But she's like, the only thing with podcasting is you don't make any money. And even at the time, I was like, yes, but you do.
Yeah.
Because she did the first year of the Happy Place Festival. Now she has like I went to it last year. We had a guy speaking.
Yeah, it's great.
It's thousands of people there. Books, deals, events, merch. It's just unreal. But again, you buy into Happy Place
100%.
because you buy into her first.
Same as Stacey Solomon. You know, like now, people love her. Like, she's got clothing ranges.
I think she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's got homeware ranges. But my point is, you're buying into her. If you like Stacey Solomon, you're going to want to buy products that are related to her. So if you're a business and you're sat there thinking, yeah, you know, the personal brand is not important, I guarantee it is. Because no doubt, like, okay, the people I work with, as I say, I'm working with, I guess, more like micro businesses, okay?
Yeah.
Where they are very much led by, you know, like the entrepreneur of that business. Does that make sense? So everyone pretty much I work with are leading with their personal brand, but so should everyone. Because it's what people relate to. And the thing that I would say is that you've got your business and then there's you, right? And you're trying to separate them out. But there will be a reason that you started that company. Okay, it might be an experience or, you know, like something that happened to you in your life that you were like, do you know what? I'm going to set this up because I've seen a gap or I want to now go and help people.
Small Business Shoutout.
Yes, 100%.
Coming up. Don't leave yet, guys. You'll find out later.
Imagine being able to tell that story. And so you've got your business, yes, and you might think, well, you know, I have to be more serious or it's for this sort of demographic. That's fine. You can mix up the content, but why would you not use your personal brand to tell the story, which is in turn elevating that business? And the thing is as well that we have to remember is that I see it. So like off the back of this event, I gave away, so I like to give something valuable because it's just
She likes to give
what
back
I
to
do.
the people, guys. She likes to give out to the people.
So I gave anyone who wanted to could book a free brand feedback.
How much did it cost?
It's free.
Unbelievable value,
but
guys.
in all honesty, I had someone, so I get them to send me their website, their socials. And
I'm taking the piss, but it's actually very beneficial.
It's really good. And I record a Loom video. It's normally about 10 minutes long. And I just say what comes to my head. Right, it could be like how they could tweak the website or the wording, and no lie, every single one were just completely missing out the whole personal brand element, and not even just the personal brand, but the storytelling behind why is it you do what you do. So here's the thing: you can sell a product or a service, and you can say this is what it is, this is what I do, and this is who it's for. But that is almost like external problem selling. What you need to do to really, I would say, succeed and build that kind of know, like and trust, to build that real rapport with your customers, to keep them coming back. You want them to really buy into what you stand for and the ethos, okay? So people connect through internal emotions. So when we bring in, say, our personal brand, then that really helps you to tell that story. So for example, I can make you a logo, I can make you a website, I can make you a PDF download, a presentation slide. Brilliant. External problems, you need that. But then if I said, I can make you feel so professional and confident about your business, I can help you to really elevate your expertise so you can make a bigger impact. I'm going to give you more time back because I'm going to do this for you and you're going to feel like you can spend more time on your zone of genius. It's almost like, I'm not saying they're the perfect examples.
I want to buy it.
But it's almost like I'm talking to the person, their emotions, okay? I'm seeing so many businesses that I land there and it's like, this is what we do. Here's my service, connect. And I'm like, why would I do that?
But going back to the personal brand thing, you can obviously, you'll talk about what you're doing for them, but why would they buy into you in the first place? Because they know that you started a company because you had a passion for it.
Yes.
And that you've named the company after your son. Can you talk about that? Your son, our son.
And also, weird. What am I passionate about?
What are you passionate about? You've got a demographic that, because you could go and do the skill set that you've got now, that you could go and do like big brand corporate fucking websites. You could do branding for multinational conglomerates, but you would be bored shitless.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But you go after, and your marketplace is small and micro businesses that are generally female led, with the person at the front leading the business.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, if you look at, and there's an evolution, I think, with business as well, because you look at bigger brands and you go, well, yeah, but that's not led by a personal brand.
Yeah.
Which, you don't buy Dad's washing powder because of the person behind Dad's. But you might have heard the advert with Danny Dyer going, it's Pathway Surf.
Oh, 100%.
And because you like her, you now buy the product. And we had a Small Business Shoutout a couple of weeks ago, which is not really a small business, like Absolute Collagen.
Yeah, amazing.
Now, that brand has got so much power behind it that the brand has probably got more branding power than the founders, but the founders were the catalyst to kicking it off in the first place. And if you dig deeper, you will still buy in even more fully to the brand when you know the founder's story.
And do you know what? That's such a good example of that Absolute Collagen. Because obviously I said I met Maxine at the founder at an event. And then since, so I was talking about in my talk, again, when I'm talking about branding, I talk about consistency and having that identity that's like really coherent. Because now, ever since I've met her, I've like if I've been on a website that was talking about female awards, she was there on the hero banner.
Yeah.
She'd won an award for something. And then I go somewhere else and I see her again. And it's like now I've bought into her. Yeah, I've completely bought into her. Now I've bought the products. Now I'm buying into the products. I do love the product, but it's more also I love her and what she stands for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, true.
So then it starts building, and I've got no reason not to like them. The product arrives on time. The packaging's amazing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I have probably told 50 people about it.
More than that, hundreds through this podcast. Oh yeah,
but
not thousands.
Like in person, like when I actually talk about it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is the power of personal brand. And I see it, and it's like, but some people fear it. But it's such an empowering thing. I had a conversation with a lady who's got a really great company about getting people moving, and she was like, "Oh, do you think I should be doing more with my personal brand?" I was like, absolutely. I said, there's no detriment to the company. It's only going to make it better. I was like, there will be a reason you set that company up. 100% there'll be a reason. That's the story that I want to know. And like when I work with people, again, I say this, like for me, branding, I've said it before, I love it. Visual consistency, making it look great, brilliant. But it's like, I love like getting that message out of people. What is that journey you've been on? Yeah, like you say, like for me, I set up my business. I felt, I was a parent. I felt like I'd lost a bit of identity. I wanted to do something. I found my passion.
You're miserable and lonely, miserable and lonely.
Me. But like set it up, and then I've gone on this journey of going, my self-discovery about personal branding. That it's all about, not all about me, but people are buying into me. And then by telling my story, well, this is why I do what I do. I'm self-taught. Over the years, I used to see people spending thousands, and I'm talking thousands. I remember, like, I'm going back, God, how many years now?
Well, when
10,
you used to manage
15 years, and they were spending 28 grand on a website that was pretty dog shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I used to just be like, oh my God. And then when I started, and these people that would be like, yeah, well, someone built my website and this doesn't work and it doesn't really do me any justice. And I'm like, it's so frustrating, because the biggest part of it is getting that message and that storytelling and that personal brand element of the company. And I think even if you are, even if you kind of want to keep yourself separate, which some people do, I suppose, then I guess it is like looking at other ways that you can bring in that personal brand element. Maybe it is through employees. But as I say, the people I work with, when we say small business, doesn't mean financially that it's necessarily a small business, but generally their team, up to like 15 sort of people, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found it fascinating, and I just think I just wanted to come on today, and because it's something that we talk about a lot as well, to just share it, because people found it really, really valuable.
I think the other thing as well, if you're growing a business brand, that because your brand is your reputation.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of explanations of what a brand actually is, but that's it. In a nutshell, your brand is your reputation.
That's what I ended with.
What do people say about you when you're not in the room? What do people say about you behind your back, both good and bad?
Because we were listening to that Alex Hormozy podcast, and he was saying, it made me laugh. He was like, brand reputation, for example, that he's used the same pool cleaner for years.
Yeah.
So people then think that, so the guy who's cleaning his pool thinks, well, he must really like me. He must be recommending me left, right and centre. But actually, no, he hates him. He thinks he's absolute crap. So he didn't say hate, but he doesn't actually think he's very good. He just hasn't had the time to be bothered to find someone else.
Yeah.
Again, because his reputation actually isn't good. So you do have to be careful and just be constantly listening and almost curate. We say about curating your narrative, taking control and not letting others decide that for you.
And if you're if you've got a bigger business, or you're thinking about, I need to put the emphasis needs to be on the business brand, it takes so much longer to build a reputation for a business than it does from a personal brand, because people can look and get a sense of who you are and what you stand for, and therefore the values that you have as a founder, as an owner, will be almost vicariously passed on to the business brand. And it's so much quicker to build personal brand than it is to build business brand. The other thing I think from a personal brand versus business brand perspective, and we were having this conversation yesterday at a business event I was involved with, if a person has a bad experience, they'll tell 9 people. On average, they will tell 9 people if they've had a bad experience. If people have had an amazing experience, they'll only tell 3 people.
That's mad, isn't it?
And that's if it's been an amazing experience. If it's just a good experience, like, they probably won't tell fucking anybody. But bad news travels fast, as we know. But I think that's even more so I think you can get more people saying about a good experience when you've led with personal brand. Look at you, for example. People are not going, oh, go to Orange Lamb because Orange Lamb's process was amazing, or Orange Lamb, what they delivered. They're like, go and speak to Hayley because she's brilliant at what she does. So that personal brand, I think, instigates more of those people, flag-waving advocates of your brand, rather than the business.
I was saying as well what you were saying earlier, like I used an example of like perfume selling. It's just like a great example of leveraging personal brand. Like for years and years and years, isn't it?
Pretty much,
these perfume companies have just said, right,
J-Lo, Britney, Beyonce,
Johnny Depp, like, all of these people, like every single A-lister celebrity would have at some point been involved in like a perfume brand. You can't sell a smell through a screen. All right, yes, you could go and look at the ingredients to get an idea of the type of smell, but do you see what I mean? You're buying into that, aren't you? If you like Beyonce, you might think, oh,
Conor McGregor. Look at Conor McGregor. He was the highest paid athlete in 2022. And only 1/5, if that 1/10, I think it might have been, of his money came from fighting. I think he made 30 million quid from fighting, and he made 270 million quid, another 270, made 300 mil total, and it was from proper whiskey, it was from his pub chains, it was from brand deals, it's from Tidal Sport. And again, people now, if you can build a strong enough brand, they will literally just buy in. Not only will they buy into your brand, they will pay you for your brand and your brand equity. Look at the rise of influencers, for example. There's a reason why it's so powerful.
But that's the other thing as well. I think people think, well, I'm not an influencer. Like, we're not talking about...
But you are in your sector and your space.
That's
you
what
are.
I mean.
That's the thing. Get your head around it.
When you're thinking about influencers of like... You know, like you know
what
I
you
think
think of as a standard. I get it.
But you're right. It's like your personal brand. You are the influencer of your space, 100%. So I go through 5 Ds of personal branding.
She loves the D.
Just really, we're taking it there. You are such an idiot.
No, the 5D. You love you. What I'm saying, you love the 5 Ds because you've got 5 Ds there.
So we've got decision. What's your purpose of your brand? What are you offering? Dialogue. What is your message? Who are you communicating it to?
I'm trying to stay out of this podcast. I'm trying to stay out of the shop because this is so powerful. This could just be clips for you for your social media. So I'm just trying to stay out of it.
Design. How do you want your brand identity to look and feel? Deliver. How are you going to get your brand in front of your audience? And dedicate. How much time are you going to put into growing your brand? So we're not going to go through it loads, but you know, like decision, finding the
free
purpose.
Webinar, you say? Free webinar.
But finding the purpose, you hear it, don't you? Like mission, vision, my core values. Like they are actually all really important because it's about, I would say, for me more than anything, it goes back to connecting with your audience and actually like the passion behind it. And again, like your services, like it is important to understand how your services are connecting with your audience and who they're there to help. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
So. Dialogue.
Say that thing.
So this quote
say that
is amazing.
If you don't think you're an influencer,
so if you're
or building a brand.
So if you're not branding yourself, you can be sure that others do it for you.
That's what I was saying. If you don't think you're an influencer, you have influence.
Yeah.
Because being an influencer is just having influence.
So this is a big one. Okay. So brand message and communication. So whenever you're thinking about your business and brand, and this could be like, you could be creating a new product. Okay, so this could be like the top level branding of your company and your business, what you stand for, etc. Or it could be like a new service. This always applies. So like thinking about who is it for? Who's that ideal buyer profile? Who's the target market, which is like a wider spectrum? And what is the unique value proposition? Okay, what sets you apart? Because it might be just something you do differently. It's not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but What do you maybe do different to someone over there, for example? What is your value?
It's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. That's what gets results. That's very apt. That's
Okay,
all, isn't it?
but
Very
this
powerful.
is what I really want to focus on. Okay, what problem do you solve? What are your client pain points and their success? So there's a great book, Donald Miller, Building a Brand Story, that basically talks about a framework that pretty much most films, books, whatever follow. So like there's a character, has a problem, and they meet a guide. So that's us. We're the guide. Yeah? Our clients are the hero. We're the guide.
I'm not. You are.
So then the guide gives them the plan, which could be like a service or a product, etc., and calls them to take action. Okay, it's not us doing it for them, they're doing it. And then that action basically avoids failure and leads them to their success. Okay, so when we're thinking about our brand and our business, that's what we want. We want to be the guide for people to guide them to their success. So by doing that, and this comes into when I was saying earlier, and you're thinking, why is this to do with personal branding? But it's all connected. It's about, we want to talk to internal emotion, not just external problems. So when you sit there and you think about this product or this service and you sit and you break it down, what problem does that solve? So like identify specific issues, okay, for that product or service. And then what are the common challenges or frustrations that those clients are facing that this product basically helps them with? Okay, list it out, think about it. And then this is the biggie. What is the transformation? Everyone is buying transformation, okay? Everyone wants to buy transformation. It's so important. What is the success that is going to lead them to? When we know those pain points and we know the success that your product or your service offers, that is how you then go and like brand yourself and market yourself. That's your message. That's what you're talking to. So every time you show up online, this is what I want to see. I want to see, you're triggering those emotions. You're talking to people. It's like, I see that pain. And I'm not talking about it in like a depressing way. You don't have to just write it like, I see your pain. It's like, but you're talking to those pain points and you're giving them the aspirations. You're giving them the inspiration that things can change. You're showing them the clients who have worked with you, the testimonials for the social proofing. You've then got the documentation of you going out doing your amazing work. Like there's so many layers, but I'm not going to, obviously we're running out of time, but I just want to say like that. Knowing your clients, thinking about what are their challenges and how does your service or product really transform them. If above anything else, if you just focus on that, that will really help you with your messaging and attracting the right clients. That's what I think.
Guys,
anyway.
Guys, if you're not clapping along at home, I think you're missing out on a treat.
Anyway.
And it goes back to talking about personal brands. It's time for today's Small Business Shoutout, which is not necessarily personal brand driven, but the person behind this brand is incredible and the work that they do is incredible. I don't know that much about it, apart from how flipping fantastic it sounds, but you know all about it. Hit her with Small Business Shoutout.
So our Small Business Shoutout this week goes to the Lewis Foundation, who is founded by a dear friend, Lorraine, and her husband, Lee.
I thought you'd forgotten her name then.
No.
I was like, oh my God, don't forget her name now.
Now you've messed it up. Shall I start again?
No.
So I've had the pleasure of knowing Lorraine for a few years now, and they set up the Lewis Foundation after her experience some really emotional family illness. His mother-in-law had cancer. His mother, had cancer, her mother-in-law. And when they were spending time in hospital, they noticed that there was just so... Like it makes you feel really sad. Like you go into the children ward, which obviously is awful, but there's all these these kids are getting these gifts, and do you know what I mean?
There's joy and happiness.
And then you go to the adult cancer wards, and there's nothing. So she set up a company that basically gives care packs into hospitals for adults. So it could be, I don't know, like a magazine, or it could be some toiletries, because there's these people, maybe they don't have friends and family nearby. They don't have visitors. Now, that's how it started, and how it is now, it is just amazing. She's now, I think she's on her way to try and get into something like 17 hospitals.
Wow.
They flew to Malaysia to do like a talk over there. She's now got 2 physical shops in Luton and Northampton, where they're selling basically brand new products that they are being donated by big global companies that they can sell at a reduced price. So not only is someone going in there and getting great products and a real bargain, it's all impacting, and all that money just goes straight back into the Lewis Foundation. It is just phenomenal.
So, but just break that down. just quickly for people. So these massive companies have got stock, like an overage of stock.
Yeah.
So they give it to her at zero cost, and then she can sell it at a much reduced price, so people get a bargain. Yeah. And then they can also they make all the money, and they keep all the money.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
And the thing is, why I shout
do good
them out.
Good deals. Hayley didn't like that tagline. I think it's flipping fantastic, by the way.
Is that it just goes to show their brand revolves a lot around Lorraine and her husband Lee, but it's now getting bigger than them. Does that make sense? And they want it to be bigger than them. They don't just want it to be around them, but it's them. They have been there. They work every day in the business. They've run the coffee shop. They've run the shop. They go to the hospitals. They're delivering the care packs. My point is, it led from passion, and they have never forgotten what it's about. Every decision they make is about their clients and their I say their clients, sorry, it's not the, you know what I mean? It's about the people that they're trying to help.
Recipients, yeah.
It's all about them. And I just think what an amazing example of using a passion to grow a brand like that. Like I say, it's a brand, but it's a charity, obviously.
But that example there, but it's still a brand, isn't it? It's a brand's reputation. But that example there, for example, if I knew about Lorraine and if I could see on social media her going to deliver the care packages and her at the shop and her shaking hands with these massive conglomerates who are now giving her the price, giving her the reduced price stock, and I could see the people who work in the shops, and I could see the people who've got a gift bag or whatever off the back of it.
But it's what amazing. It does for the communities as well. Like,
100%.
It's amazing.
But we're going back to the branding bit, because this is what we're trying to really like hammer home today. That personal brand will grow that charity brand much quicker
100%.
if it's done in the right way. People will buy into you. People have to buy into you before they'll buy from you. And even if they're not directly buying from you, they have to buy into the content. Like, you know, one of them is like the biggest company on the planet, I think, and they've bought into her
100%,
as well as the mission and vision of what the Lewis Foundation does.
And she's actually at the point now, which is another good example, where she's still very much in it, but she's also using her personal brand separately now, because she can go and do keynotes and share that message. She goes and helps other charities, because, you know, like, it's incredible what she's done. Like, she used to be a lawyer and like has jumped ship because she just saw this and was like, this is what I want to do. And she's almost like gone against, she's just gone on, they've gone on their own journey to create this, all because it's been about passion. And it's like, that's what they want to do. That is what they're so focused on. So these opportunities come and it's like, well, we'll just work it out how to do it.
And when you've got a personal brand, you can basically put the focus of your personal brand onto, you look at influencers, for example. They basically, it's an audience for hire. Hey, I've got a brand that I want to get in front of, you know, gym buffs. Right, let's go for the gym influencers. I'm just going to put my products on them, and then I'm going to get to that audience. That's effectively what it is. But if you own the company as well, I always think of it like a director's loan. You can director's loan your attention.
Love that.
To whatever you're working on. And like you say, then she can grow her personal branding and go and give a keynote talk, which elevates her positioning,
100%.
which puts more spotlight onto the charity.
100%.
Do it as a fancy little jingle, then give it a little summary. Come on.
So this week's Small Business Shoutout goes to the Lewis Foundation, who are an incredible charity that are there to support adult cancer patients so that no one has to go through cancer alone. It is founded by Lorraine and Lee Lewis, and they are making such a massive impact. Not only are they getting around the country into different hospitals, giving out these care packs, they've also got 2 incredible shops in Northampton and Luton where they're actually selling brand new product that is sort of like 40% off, and all the money is just going straight back into the Lewis Foundation. It is just an inspiring charity, and so go check them out, and it's theLewisFoundation.co.uk.
Lovely little shout out. And from the best of humanity to the worst. Who's a mug? Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Who?
Have you been a mug? I'll tell you who's been a mug this week.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap it up.
I know. Wrap it up. Tell you who's been a mug.
Who?
People who make fucking plastic bottles.
Oh, God, you really going on
I'm going there. Right. I don't know if you guys...
Oh, you're such a dick.
I don't care. I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you picked up like a bottle of water from a shop recently and you might have not realised why you've spilled all of the water down your fucking face and now you're drenched. What is the new thing with lids being attached by a little shitty bit of plastic? Because you can still get the lid off.
I know, but
the thing is, it makes
so
it
you
harder to
lose
get it off. So if you've got like one of those water bottles, Smart Water. I mean, thanks for the value, Smart Water, because they always fill it right to the top. But if you try and snap it off, then you've covered yourself in the water. And then if you do,
it's quite awkward to drink. With
you have to like side sip it, or if you do pull it off, now you've got two daggers sticking out. So you have a drink. If you're in the car and you're having a drink, I mean, the police might be listening. Maybe you should be drinking and driving, regardless of what the liquid is. But like last night, so I'm driving along and I'm getting quite tired. So I'm just like having some sips of water and stuff as I'm driving along to keep myself awake. But because it's in the dark and I'm on the motorway doing 70 miles an hour because I always stick to the speed limit, and I've pulled off the lid. So now I'm just slapping my fucking face in the dark when I'm trying to drink. Who's come up with this shit?
I reckon.
And don't tell me it's for the turtles, because the turtles would rip that fucking lid off as well.
Do you know what my benefit? This is what I come up with. You know when you go to concerts and you buy a bottle of drink and then they like make you throw the lids away?
They're still not going to make you do that though, because you can just twist it off.
So you think they still make you not have the lid?
Yeah.
Oh, don't know then.
So I don't see the purpose. Who decided? Because all of a sudden, every bottle has become this lethal little plastic stabber. Find out who came up with it. Google twatty plastic caps. Google twatty plastic caps. You got to the end of the jingle. Go. Who's a mug? Who's a mug? Bottle manufacturers. Have you been a mug? I actually used to know someone who was like the CEO of Tetra Pak. I might have to reach out to him. Here you go. She's funny out.
As part of the effort to drive down single-use plastic waste, drink bottles will come with attached lids, tethered caps.
What a bunch of bullshit.
Have been floating around Europe for the last couple of years and will be mandatory by someone to ensure that both bottle and lid are recycled.
What a heap of shit.
Well, I guess some of the
reuse what
just end up.
Oh, because I can use it again. No, I can't because I've ruined the fucking thread.
No, but maybe the bottle top lids just end up on the floor and not in recycling.
That's not what they're saying there. They reuse.
I don't know.
I think it's a nonsense.
Anyway, on that note, I think that's the end of the podcast.
Bottle manufacturers, you're mugs. If you work for Tetra Pak, you're a mug. Explain it to me. Shout out to Mike Gillis, who used to work for Tetra Pak, who's the former CEO, I think. I'm going to reach out to Mike and I'm going to find out. He's retired now. He's a lovely man.
That is the end of quite a subdued podcast for us. It was quite in detail.
I feel like I went to a seminar at one point.
Enjoyed it. If you didn't, oh well. Don't listen again.
If you liked it, thanks. If you didn't, fuck off.
But yeah, anyway, we're going to be back next week. Make sure you join in with the show. We want to hear from you. What you up to? Just talk to us.
So Hayley, take over today, guys. Come on, keep going.
Just
keep going.
Anything. Have you got a small business shout?
Got 31 seconds to fill.
Have you been a
Let's
mug?
go, champ.
Have you got a question for me and James? Or just a question about life, business, whatever? Ask us a question, guys.
20 seconds to fill. Keep filling.
Just ask us. Just ask us, guys, come on. Come on, ask a question. Guys. Hello, you. Hello. Oi, are you listening? Are you?
It's the shittest filling for time ever.
Listen? No.
Listen?
Ask.
Oh, fucking hell. If this makes it to the airwaves, I'll be fucking amazed.
This show is a Phonic Media production.